I'm really interested in the semi-hollow and the hollow just because that's mostly what I play. And I like testing things on clean amps. You really get a sense of what the guitar is before you start coloring it with a bunch of effects and dirt, which I love to do as well.
I'm Baldacci, and I'm Baldacci Guitars out here in Mesa, Arizona. So this is kind of our flagship electric guitar design. I call it the Bighorn series, named after kind of the Bighorn Mountains up in Wyoming where I grew up. Pretty standard as far as woods go, mahogany body, maple top. You know, we do like a 25 and an 1/8 inch scale length. When we were developing this guitar, several different models, all different scales. I traced down every single template I could find here at school. And then, yeah, when I got back to Wyoming after graduation, I wanted to design my own guitar, so I took all of those template tracings I did and drew them all out over the top of each other. And then from there, just kind of average lines, pick what worked, pick what didn't. And 4 or 5 guitars later, we came up with this kind of offset double cut design. Something that, you know, is pretty balanced, pretty versatile. As you can see, we have a solid body, a semi-hollow version, a full hollow body version. They're all like 1 11/16 at the nut, 2 1/4 here at the last fret. We use the 6150 frets, I believe, from Dunlop. The same pickups come standard in all of these guitars. We use the same pots, the same switches. One of the things I really wanted to address with these guitars is upgrading components that won't fail you or shouldn't fail you. Obviously, you know, you can't control every single little potentiometer. Yeah, and trying out all sorts of switches to find ones that didn't really have play in them. Finding tuners that locked but, you know, weren't heavy mass and didn't have the big wheel on the back to where if you backed it out, you'd lose that little piece on the inside. Just little things like that that have just kind of bothered me on production guitars. We only do this bridge on our hollow body models because we have this piezo option. So this is a Graphtec ghost loaded Resamax. Our standard hardtail bridge is this Godot 510 wraparound. And the reason we like that is because it's shaped, you know, it kind of has this counterbalance here in the back. And that, I mean, without getting too far into it, your strings aren't trying to rotate as harsh as a normal, you know, old like Gibson style wraparound. So it doesn't put as much stress on the posts. We use pickups made by Dark Moon Pickups out of New York City. Basically, I went to Mark there at Dark Moon and said, hey, you know, we're a new production guitar company and we're looking to have our own pickups made because winding our own had just become tedious at that point. You know, it was easier to work with somebody who had the established infrastructure and was able to produce the pickups at the volume we needed. So we went back and forth discussing, you know, pole pieces and what kind of magnets we want to use, what gauge wire, all of that. It's pretty middle of the road, our standard set. So it is a like 8.15, 8.2K Alnico 4 bridge pickup and about a 7.9K Alnico 4 in the neck. And that helps produce, you know, pretty balanced sound, a pretty vintage sound, which is nice out of a new guitar.
Light, very comfortable guitar.
This is our Bighorn semi-hollow body model. Still maple top, mahogany back and neck. This is actually my personal favorite model because it's a good in-between of the solid body and the hollow body. All of our guitars actually have, can't see it, but it's called a pure tone output jack. On the inside, there's actually double the surface area of those prongs touching your cable. is our solid body model. You know, same as all the others, maple top, mahogany back and neck. Main difference on this one is it's 24 frets instead of 22. And it has this tremolo. We used to use the Goto 510 series tremolo as well because it's a really well-built piece, but just over a year ago now we had a customer want a John Mann, like Man-Made USA, but this is a vintage-spaced 6-screw Strat tremolo is how he sells them as replacements, but it works really well for our design, and they manufacture them and plate them all in the US, which is really great. Yeah, so that's that tremolo unit there, and that's just become the standard on all of our guitars. It holds tune really well. You have these 6 screws all have, you know, kind of indents, and there's what they call knife edges, right, where the base plate meets these screws, and so the combination of that helps your tremolo come back in the same spot every time. It's not going to slide on those screws like some of the vintage Strat tremolos, and it also encompasses these saddles within the housing, so there's no side-to-side movement of that.
This is almost a guitar I wish I had my dirt pedal plugged in for, but I still like to test stuff clean.